Hi, I'm Mike with Rocky Mountain Wet Shave. In my last video, I talked about some of the reasons why I got into wet shaving and the equipment and sort of what I do with it. So in this episode, as I talked about last time, I'm going to actually show you guys what I do. I've got my Badger brush here and my mug soap. One of the things that I learned was I was trying to get things together really quick and get the quickest shave that I could. But I quick found out that there were a couple small things that wouldn't really beat up my time schedule, but they would still make that shave better for me. So what I'm doing right now is I've got my mug soap here, and I've had this soaking in a little bit of hot water with the brush sitting in it so that it would absorb some of the water and get all warmed up and soft. So I just take this and get it going until I feel like I have the best lather that I can. And that's about as good as it gets. So I'll go ahead and I'll let you guys know what I'm doing as I go through the process. Now, I put this on and I do it in circular motions because what I'm trying to do is get my hairs to kind of stand up a little bit off of my skin. Before I was doing this, I was getting a lot more razor bumps, and getting that hair to stand up lets you chop it off a little bit better, which gives you a cleaner shave and then helps you to avoid bumps in the future. So I've got this single edge razor. It's an Ever Ready. This was my grandfather's, and I use the stainless steel gem blades in it. Now, as I'm doing this, I reach over the top of my head there, and with this hand, I kind of try to stretch out my cheek. That also helps to get the hairs from pointing back into the skin. As I'm going with this, you're seeing me make a lot of faces. It's, again, just to get the face to stretch out and get the hair off of it as much as you can. One of the areas where I'm really careful is on the mustache, because I've gotten a few cuts like right there when I'm not being as careful as I can. Now you'll see the mug soap is dissipated a little bit. I usually end up reapplying a tad under here. That's one of my more sensitive spots, so I definitely don't want to let it run out there. You can probably also see that it's not that thick of a lather. And watching some other videos on YouTube, you know, guys like Nick Shaves, stuff like that, they can get some pretty thick lathers going. So that's one of the reasons why I've been thinking about checking out different shaving soaps, different creams, just to see if I can get something that's going to shave me a little bit more slickly, so that maybe I can go for that across shave and then maybe the against the grain too. So we'll see in the future. One thing that I try to avoid is going over places that I've already gone over. So if there's no cream there, I really don't want to go back over it again. That's going to lead to more irritation and just not quite as good of a shave. So again, that's why a lot of guys go for the cross shave and against the grain again, but they also re-lather when they do that. Up until now, I haven't been able to do that just because I'm not getting that good of a shave. But like I said in my last video, it's still the best shave of my life. and I'm blown away that using this old technology, this is from before the 1920s, that I'm getting so close with it. One of the things that I do, I definitely stick with the stainless steel blades for these. I tried some of the other ones. I tried Treat, and it just wasn't as good of a blade. It felt much more scratchy. So stainless steel, in my mind, is definitely essential. There might be some other stuff out there too, though, so we'll see. Now, when I go for the wash, I try to use cold water on my face, and what they say that does is close up your pores and kind of get your skin to stop reacting. So get that cold water running through your faucet, and just rinse off all the spots that I can. Now, in the last video I also mentioned this alum block. I don't feel like I got too bad of a shave today, but I'll still demonstrate what I do with this. You can check it out online. It's ALUM, alum block, and you just run it under some cold water, and then you take it and slide it on your face. Now, after you do that, you're gonna feel some spots that you got a little closer than you thought you had, and you'll realize that this stuff is really good. So even when you feel like you've gotten a pretty comfortable shave, you're still going to have spots on there, and this is going to seal them up. It's almost like it cauterizes them. You get a little bit of a sting going, and then it's over with. One thing I like to do is pat dry it off, and don't rub it, because you don't want fibers from the toilet paper or the towel sticking to it. But I just kind of pat it off and make sure that the moisture's gone, because as it sits in your case, it'll run down to the corners and it'll make sharper edges on there, which won't feel good when you're rubbing it on your face. Then I also take out my razor blade. I rinse off the handle and rinse off the blade, and then I'll just dry it off. And I use the toilet paper for this again, because I know it's not gonna nick up the blade or anything. Once it's dry, I just stick the blade back in here for storage, close it up, and then pat dry the outside of it too. It's an old brass razor, so I want to keep from corroding it as much as I can. After that, I take my brush, run it under the warm water again, and just kind of squeeze it out, wring it out like that. A little water in there, and wring it out as good as you can. After I've got it rinsed and wrung out, I'll just kind of take it and spread it on my fingers like that. A little bit of soap left in it isn't going to hurt it. I've had this for over a year now, and it's just as good as it ever was. So I kind of bloom it out like that so that it can air dry better, and I set it in the stand on the side there. As far as the mug goes, I'll pour out any residual water, wipe off the sides so my wife doesn't get mad at me for leaving scum all over the bathroom, and that's it. So that's what I do. It's essentially what I've been doing for the last year now, and it's been working for me so far. Everything's been pretty good. The only thing that I would say could probably get better would be the soap. So I'd like to check out some other stuff, and hopefully you have some suggestions for me. So leave some comments down below, and when I have something to make another video about, I'll put another video on. Take care.